Okay, now we're live. So, hi everyone. Thank you for being all here. Today, this workshop is going to be about work-life balance. So basically, just want to explore all the lifestyles that we have here in open source, and in distributed and remote work life as well. So we will hear in this episode about different people in different places that work, like in this pandemics and open source world and Quantside Labs. So, first, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Stephanie Jimenez, and I've been working here in Quantside for almost 3 years now. And I'm super excited to y'all hear about our nice and like all our people. So, hi, Greg. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been working on Quantside? What type of projects are you working on?
Yeah, I've been at Quantsite a little over a year now, and I work primarily on the open source scientific Python software. About half my time on Scikit-Image, and I also work on the Napari project at the moment, and I'm a maintainer for Scikit-Image, SciPy, and PyWavelets.
Great. We also have here Pam. So hi Pam.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Happy to be here.
Oh, that's great. What's something fun that you want to tell us about yourself?
Well, should I talk about work or just
Whatever
anything?
you want.
Okay. Well, I guess I don't know. Right now, I was prepared to talk about work, so I'm just gonna say that because it's the only thing coming to my mind. But I have been at Quantsite for about 2.5 years, and I'm working on the Napari project right now. Most of my time, and I've had a really great time being here and excited to join all of you today for this conversation.
That's great to hear, Pam. Thank you. Now we also have Gabriel today. Hi Gabriel.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Well, as you can see, I'm having a great time at the beach.
I know.
Yeah, things are good. A little bit about me. I joined Quantsite at the end of October, so I'm pretty new still. Been a few months. I basically have three big projects, three projects that are taking up most of my time at Quantsite, and it's the first one, which is like the one that's pretty near and dear to my heart, is working on accessibility in Jupyter Lab. The other one is working on QHub, which is now Nabari, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the website refresh. So that involves. So I'm working closely with Tanya, Isabella, Tony, Pierre, sometimes Darhas, Chris, Peyton, Irina. I hope I didn't forget anybody in that list.
Yeah, we normally work with a lot of people, right? It is really hard to have like a complete list with everyone because, yeah, that's something that is really nice about it, like being here at one side. So yeah, but before we got into that, I'm going to present you our last guest. That's Tanya. So hi Tanya, how are you?
Hi, I am pretty good. Thank you for having me here.
No, we're really happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself here.
Oh, well, I have been at Quantsite for over a year now. That has flown by. Like, I didn't realize when I did a year here. And I work well, as Gabriel already mentioned, on a lot of Jupyter and Jupyter accessibility work, and basically also with my partner in crime, that is Ralph, as a co director of labs. So making sure that things are running, working on processes, and ensuring that labs is sustainable. Basically, that's what I do.
That's a lot. So yeah, well, thank you all for being here today. So our topic today is kind of like different from work in like in one side. we're going to talk about, like everything else that we do outside of work and how does that help us to be better in the work that we do. Also, how does that affect in like the remote things that we have here in Quanside. So I'm going to share with y'all really nice presentation here. So let me just share here. Oh, sorry, I put the one that's not. I'm going to present here. Sorry. No. Okay. So for the ones that missed our introduction or are just connecting with us, we are here on the work life workshop for Quanside. So basically, this work is all sponsored by Quanside and Quanside Labs. So thank you very much for these episodes. And the first thing that we're going to talk about a little is about the perks that we all have here in the company, just to refresh them a little bit. So we have 30 days of PDO, 10 days of sick days. We also have a parental leave, hardware financial support, and a learning budget. So I know this is like a lot, and it's sometimes really difficult to track everything. And it is hard to also like take advantage of all of these perks that we have here in the company. But yeah, we basically want to thank OneSide for all these amazing opportunities that we have, just not with the perks, but also with our remote and distributed work in open source. So today I'm Stephanie and I'm hosting this workshop, and we're featuring Tanya, Pam, Greg, and Gabriel, that they are all working in really cool projects and open source things. So we're going to talk a little bit beyond what we do in our work life. So this is my slide. So the main idea for this is just to present who I am like outside the company, and like the work that y'all or some of y'all have seen. So like more, I am really passionate about my ballet, and also I'm doing a little bit of gymnastics right now, and I love my cat. So I really like this like photos that I posted here. I hope that this gives a sense of like what I look like outside, like my normal hoodie and my glasses on work. Because normally when I dance, I don't dance with glasses, and I look really weird. So yeah. So I think that's enough about me. So I'm going to go ahead and let our guests talk a little bit about their own life. So first we have Gabriel.
So I decided to mostly put on this slide the thing that I have has really become like my happy place in the last few years, which is just going on hikes in the wilderness. I did my first ever multi-day wilderness hike with a friend a couple of years ago, and that's the picture that you see in the top left of the that's the Teton Mountain Range in Wisconsin. So I did like 50 miles over like 4 days, a lot of up and down. It was hard, but really awesome. I'll go through these pictures clockwise. After that, you can see two dogs. They're actually not mine. Those are actually my sister's dogs. Because of the pandemic, I ended up living for a year with one of my sisters in Salt Lake City. And I'm following Tony's advice here to like always put a dog in your slides. So even though they're not mine, I did spend a lot of time with them. Their names are Finn and Moose. And then you can see some more photos of me in the outdoors. There's me in a hot tub, outdoor hot tub with natural hot springs. That's in Utah. Some more pictures of the Southwest in the lower left. I actually forgot the name of the one. So I did a road trip before joining Quansite last summer. And I decided that for the road trip, I would just like wear an Eeyore onesie everywhere. So I have like pictures of me in various places with like, taking like a Eeyore onesie.
And Did
What's
you have
that?
like the same like photo every like the same shape of your body in each picture, or did you change that?
What do you mean?
Like, like were you in the same pose for all the photos wherever you took them, or it was a different pose?
Different poses, same costume.
Great.
And then the one photo that's not outdoor stuff is the gym photo. So that's something I try to do pretty religiously. It's kind of I think that since this talk is putatively about work-life balance, I think like having I think like you, Stephanie, you have like on your calendar like at a specific time every day. It's like I'm going to go to the gym. It's like 6:30 p.m. for me. Like I go to the gym, and I think that's a good way to just sort of be like, okay, well, day's done, gotta go.
Yeah, that helps. Okay, thanks, Gabriel. I really like all your pictures, and like I really hope to visit you sometime and see all this wildlife. So now we have Greg.
Hi. Yeah, these are some photos, a couple of them locally around Cincinnati, like the fall colors down in the bottom left. That's in Old Park nearby. It's me with my wife. I do like mountain biking. Haven't done it as much in the last couple of years, but it's a picture in the Slick Rock Trail in Moab in the bottom there. The others are Arches National Park with that's my mom and brother, and some other pictures with my wife here at one of the Hart Minis in Cincinnati downtown and Sedona. And then I thought I'd put just one picture of kind of the work setup I use down in the bottom right. So that's me mostly working on a desktop for majority of my coding, and then use the laptop here and there.
I really like your desk setup, Greg.
Yeah, it's a standing desk. I know Tanya has the treadmill as well. I don't have that kind of setup, but I sometimes swap it back and forth between standing or sitting. I just try to get up here and there throughout the day, so I'm not sitting too continuously. Maybe do some walking around or short exercise or something like that throughout the day.
And how does the like keyboard and the mouse go up? Like because I see
Keyboard
that's
is,
like kind of traditional desk, but yeah.
it's all kind of hanging from the top. The keyboard tray is connected to the top piece. So
Oh, I see. Yeah.
two posts and it can raise up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope that you get to do more mountain bike this year.
Yeah, hopefully. I have to fix my bike first. So I have a bike I can ride on the road, but it's not a mountain bike. So I broke some components on the mountain bike and need to get that. But yeah, it's winter now, so no.
Oh, yeah.
Not biking in the winter in Ohio, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Greg. Now we're going to see a little bit about Pants Day.
Okay, well, I tried to give some pictures of like various things too. I guess I'll start with like the bottom right is my whole family. I have 4 boys, and so outside of work, they take up most of a lot of good chunk of time. I included some individual pictures too to help. Like on the top right are twins. They're going to be 4 in April this year. So they are little rascals and just very busy and getting into everything and hard to predict sometimes, but they're a lot of fun. And then I have 2 pictures with my older 2 playing board games. And I included these because I love to play board games. And my hope and dream was that my kids would like to do that with me someday. And so they're starting to play stuff that's a little bit more involved with strategy, and it just makes me really happy. I included a picture of two cats. I don't know if you can see them. They're on my legs, and this is a common thing that's happening at home. They just always find me. Like if I don't have kids on me, the cats are on me. And so there they are, two of them.
What's behind your meetings on your
Yes.
computer?
Yeah, they like to make appearances often, or
Are they
just-
on you right now?
no, but they're close by, but I wouldn't be surprised if at some point you see a tail come across the camera. But right now they're sleeping, so we'll see. I included some hiking pictures too. I like to hike, but I haven't done anything as intense as you have, Gabriel. Like that's really impressive to me, the multi-day hike. The one that I have here that's on the mountains with the snow, like I did 2 days in a row, but not camping out there, and we covered 18 miles those 2 days. And I was pretty tired after that. So
Where is
40
that?
years. This is in Colorado in Estes Park. And it was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of ice and snow, and I learned a lot. Like the first day we went out, my friend and I, we didn't have enough, like we didn't have, I think they're called crampons or something, like a spikes that you can put on your shoes. And we were slipping and sliding just everywhere. And then we found out you could rent those in town in Estes Park. So we got those for day 2, and it made all the difference. So I want to go again now that I have this new knowledge and I can do more. Or maybe go in the summer when there's no snow. But it was fun to hike in snow. And then I have a picture here with my kids. They also like hiking, so we've done a few local hikes, and this was a somewhat recent one that we did, that we found this like little waterfalls, but it was pretty fun. And then I included this picture at the pool, like as a representative picture of my, I'd started triathlon training this year. I've always done or commonly in the past, I've liked to be involved in something active, like running or going to fitness classes or whatever. I think that's mostly what I've gotten into, but a lot of running. And I've done road biking like back in grad school and a little bit in college or in undergrad, and then swimming. I grew up swimming, and so I just always had in my mind that I wanted to do a triathlon. And so I decided this was the year. So I just started that. So I'm pretty excited. And then I also included this picture of this piano because a few months ago, a neighbor gave this to us, and my boys are taking piano lessons. And I always thought, I wish I could play piano. And I just kind of thought like the chance was done. But then after we got this, I was like, well, why not go ahead and like start playing? And so I signed up for an online course, and I've like slowly learning to play, and it's been a lot of fun so far. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take me to learn, but I'm at least making some improvements, so I can play a C scale.
Well, that's impressive because you're doing it alone, like with the online course and everything.
Yeah, it's something entirely different that like it takes my full concentration, and just it's I feel like it's working a different part of my brain, and I like to think that I'm making like these new neural connections and growing, and so I don't know, maybe someday I will give a performance when I can actually play something. I can have my like Quonsite concert.
That will be awesome.
Quonsite talent show.
Yeah, we should do something. That would be really fun.
That's great, Pam. I just have a quick question, and is how many hours do you train for your triathlon per week?
Well, I would say on the training plan, it's like not right now, it's not very much. It's like 5 or 6 hours, I think. So eventually the one I signed up for is an Olympic distance. So that'll be a 1,500 meter swim, and then I don't remember how many kilometers is bike ride, but I just know it's around 25 miles and then a 10K run. So, the amount of time will pick up over the coming weeks. But I try to do something like every day. And then on the off days, I'll still walk or something because I just find being active helps just all around. So, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know. Does that answer your question?
yeah. Thank you, Pam. We hope to see your pictures at the end of the course of the triathlon.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm sure I'll be really excited. So I'll let you all know. Well, I hope so. I hope I'm excited. I keep saying that when I finish, I just don't want to finish like dragging myself across the line. I want to finish like celebrating, like, I did this, I finished strong. So that's my goal.
That sounds great. We need to find more once it happens. Okay, so thank you, Pam. Now we're going to our final guest, and that's Tanya. So the floor is yours.
You will see all the chaos in my pictures. Everybody else's pictures were like so neatly organized, and mine are just like absolute chaos, like everything I do. I did struggle a bit to put a clear representation of my hobbies and things that I do because I realized I have way too many hobbies in standard neurodivergent fashion. Um, but you'll see my dog. Most of the folks at Quanside already know my dog because she also always makes an appearance. When she's not being super needy, she's asking for treats or she's just barking her head off. But she's so adorable. She's super cute. Well, I think so anyway. Um, so I spend also a lot of time training her. I like teaching her new tricks. So I don't know if you all have heard about doggy dancing. So you can actually build full choreographies with your dog. So I am slowly building skills and tricks with my dog to eventually be able to do that. My husband thinks I am a bit crazy and obsessed with that because I spend a lot of time just like finding ways to teach her new stuff. Um, Also, I am uh, a craft beer snob. Before pandemic, I used to go to craft beer festivals around here. There is also women in beer meetup in the northwest of Manchester. Sorry, in the northwest of England. So it's covering Manchester and Liverpool. And I would just like meet up with other women that are interested in craft beer, go for a couple of beers, or with my husband or friends and family. Um, Also, when I used to travel like to conferences or when I go to Mexico, I try and visit a lot of bars and then just see what is going on in the local craft beer scene. Um, Also, I am a mechanical keyboard aficionado. I build my keyboards. I have a few keyboards that you probably can see behind me. Um, I join group buys and then I modify them and I spend a lot of time soldering stuff. But I like it. I find it that it's very therapeutic and I also find it very, very nice to build things with my hands, things that I'm gonna just be using every day. It's part of my job. And of course, they have to be colorful. Um, oh, you're gonna see in the center, that is my husband. I just spend a lot of time with him now also that we both work from home, but we both love traveling, we love food, we love beers. So whenever we travel to a new place, we try and just like try very local cuisine, explore the different places and get to know a bit more about the culture through their food and drinks. um, as many of you, I like doing active things. I have been doing weightlifting for a very long time, and I think like a year ago or over a year ago, I started doing more calisthenics and handstands, and I've been enjoying that a lot. Um, as opposed to many of the other folks that already talked about the routine, I tend to train in the mornings and then carry on with my day. So I have more overlaps with folks that are in American time zones. And then during the weekends, I just tend to do very long hikes with my dog and my husband, or my handstand classes, or play video games if I am too tired, which is the total opposite of being active.
Tanya,
um, and then also something that I really like doing, and is I know some people hate baths, but I love taking baths, just like long, relaxing baths with like lovely which is like bubble bars or bath bombs, and then just have a cup of wine, and probably read something. I absolutely love taking baths. It's one of my self-care routines. I try to squeeze them on Sundays. It's not always possible, but I love baths. I am a baths lover. And I would say probably my happiest places, or like some of the places I enjoy visiting the most, is like anything that has sea or lake. If there is like a big water body where I can just where I can just go and swim or jump in a boat or do some paddle boarding. Um, those are my favorite places to go. Just like have a bit of sunbathing. And yeah, you can even see a picture of me without purple hair, because I know a lot of you folks from Quenside have never ever seen me without my purple hair. That is my natural color. And I think those are all of my hobbies. Just like spending time with friends, family, going out, meeting new places, and spend time with my dog. That is like my furry baby.
I love the picture of your baby.
I can't believe that even your bubble bath is purple, Tanya. That's just.
Spirit determination.
I also know that the Dalmatian in your gem photo is not you because it doesn't have purple spots.
It's the James dog.
That was great, Tanya. Thank you. So now I'm going to stop my sharing my screen. And let me go back. So thank you a lot for all your insights on how your days are and all your lives are as well, like outside of the normally what we see. Um, Now I want to like pass on to something that's really like a hard topic. That's about PDO, because I personally am super bad like taking my days off, because normally I don't travel that much and I normally stay at home and have like a really consistent routine. So I just wake up, I work, and then I go and do ballet, and then I come back. So it's really difficult for me to get out of that and go to places and see other things. So normally I like for me like it's August and I haven't taken like even a week of PDO for the whole like year. So like how y'all manage your PDOs, or are you a disaster like me?
I always take my PTO. I know sometimes it's hard to take PTO because you feel like you have so much work to do, and then like you don't want to be a bottleneck, but I've learned over the years that taking that time off is important. So I always take my PTO. I am also always keeping tabs on everybody's PTOs and reminding folks that they have to take their PTOs. So some people in my team hate me because I'm like, you still have 20 days. What are you going to do about them? But yeah, I love taking PTOs. Even if it's just to stay at home and have like 3 naps a day and play video games. That's it. It's the best time ever.
Yeah, like for me that's hard. I don't know if that's because I kind of like my job, that if I'm in the house then I don't feel like I'm doing video, which is funny because a lot of people that do have like a office to go to, they are like, oh, I would love to have a PDO just to be at my house doing nothing. But for me that's really hard. Yeah. So how about you, Greg? How
Yeah, I did kind of a mixture of things in the last year. I mean, I took a few days here and there, just like single days where I was, still at home, just not working, or and I managed to do one trip for about a week in the fall to Virginia. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, normal travel plans kind of get disrupted with COVID and stuff. So I haven't been on any big trips since I joined Quansight, but I was able to take time off to help some family with some medical issues and things as well. So overall, I don't know. I like to take PTO when I can, but I, may have a few days left over here and there. But I don't really, I don't feel guilty to take time off, I guess.
How about you, Pam?
I think I'm still definitely a work in progress when it comes to taking time off. I mean, I definitely think, it's important and it's good to take off time to unplug and go and relax somewhere or take an adventure or whatever it is you like to do. But I think for me, the challenge can be sometimes like I have to plan so much around my kids, and even just last month we had COVID, and it was this long drawn out process of everybody coming down sick. And I did take off a week, and that took off a lot of pressure for me. And I was so thankful that I could do that to just focus on them. But then I think, other times when I do plan vacations or take time off, it's just, it always feels like I can come back so much more refreshed and feeling good that I did that. And so, I'm still trying to find a balance of planning versus saving some just in case something happens and kids are sick or whatever the case may be. But I think it's, this year I'm trying to make some changes. So I hope to spend more time doing stuff that I really like on my time off. So we'll see. We'll see how I do.
I am on the same boat as you, Pam. Yeah.
I think what I was going to say, what you said about the office, like I do find, you have to take different steps to step away from work in this remote environment. Like when I used to go to an office, it was easy in my brain to switch off that I'm off now, and now it's like, I won't open my computer, or I'll try to stay off my phone as much as possible. Because even, getting on there, if you're looking at YouTube or whatever, you can still see something from Slack and then get pulled in. And so you just have to take different measures, I think.
Yeah, or an email that's like a thing that I do. I don't know, every time I grab my phone, the first thing I do is open my email, and I have like all my emails there, and it's horrible because then I will be trapped on my emails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Gabriel, you're on PTO basically right now. You're on your back setting.
So be exactly like what you're not supposed to do. I'm on vacation, calling into work. I definitely learned, like some years ago, I had the same thing. I would do the same thing as you, Stephanie. I would wake up in the morning. First thing is like I'd pick up my phone. It would have my work email on it, and I would just, and like my heart, I was like, sometimes, not often, not always, but often, like there would be something in my, and I would just like feel this like feeling. I was like, and then eventually I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that anymore. And for the first thing in the morning, so I like silenced the email so that like it wasn't, but anyway, I was actually really interested in hearing, maybe people who struggle to take PTO, because I mean, I feel like it's for me, it's complete opposite. I know like part of it probably has to do with the fact that I don't have kids and as many obligations. But for me, it's more of actually the opposite. It's like I look at the year ahead, and there's like, I have a friend somewhere in Europe who wants me to visit. I have a friend in the other part of the United States who wants me to visit. I want to go on a multi-day hike in the wilderness. I want to go to a music festival. I want to do da. And so it's really, for me, it's more like I look at the year ahead and I'm like, I have to make choices because I can't do all of those things. So it's really fascinating for me to, I guess, actually, I would rather turn it around and give maybe you more time, Stephanie, to talk about, or like someone else to talk about, like what keeps you from taking the time off.
Thank you, Gabriel. Yeah, no, it's really hard, but it's something that I need to work on. But like personally, I think that my thing is that I've always been really busy. So I feel guilty when I'm not doing like useful things in a sense. So yeah. Well, we have a couple of questions from our chat. So Christian is asking us, do we all work from home? He miss co-working a few days per week. So do you all work from home, or do you have like a co-working space you go to, or even a friend's house you go to?
Yeah, I'm at home.
I always work from home. I've been working from home for a very long time. So for me, I discovered a while ago that it's the best thing that could have happened for my life.
Yeah, I don't know, I can see if I'm fairly introverted, so it doesn't bother me not to have a lot of people around. My wife also does work from home, so I see her throughout the day, so I'm not entirely alone. But yeah, but I can see that there could be an attraction of going to a kind of a common location that might help you with establish a better kind of office versus home boundary, I guess, as well.
Yeah, last year I had a friend that she came here to work because she told me that in her house she wasn't able to work, which I found really funny because in here she like had that space because we were both like with Edgar we were both working from home, so she was like more motivated to work as well because she saw we were like really busy. So yeah, I understand why a lot of people like need that drive, like need more like that pressure of people doing things so they can do their own stuff as well. Yeah. So the other question that we have is Kim. So Kim is asking if we do have Slack on the phone and if it's too hard to just turn that off. So Gabriel, do you have Slack on your phone?
I was thinking about that earlier because I know I deliberately made the choice not to have work email on my phone. But email, I mean, Slack is the new email. So it's really a question of Slack. And I actually do have work Slack on my phone. But, I'm thinking through it now in just in the middle of this whole thing, I might actually just decide to take it off my phone.
The conclusion from this work. So we're going all to delete Slack from our phones. How about you, Pam?
Yeah, I do have it on my phone. And it's probably, I mean, I guess I could turn off the notifications or not have anything. I have to think about it some more. I don't feel ready to commit to like here and now saying, I mean, I guess turning off notifications is good. I don't know, especially if you're, if you're off, if you're off work time. But I don't know if I'd be ready to take it off my phone completely or not.
I think for me, there's this is an issue that intersects with working in a distributed fashion. Like if I had an office that I were going into every day, I almost certainly would not have Slack turned on my phone. But I think because, there isn't visibility for everyone into where you are, or what you're doing. I think that's maybe one of the reasons why this time around I've kept that on my phone. But I'm kind of thinking, I'm kind of wondering if like maybe an alternative would be like, so that, you know, if especially if someone needs to like find me during the day, like to like maybe not have it on the phone, but like have my phone number on Slack, on my Slack profile. That's like, you know, if you really need to grab me, like text me here or call me here. I don't know. That's probably a little, I don't know if that's probably a great idea though.
No. Well, I don't know. That sounds like a nightmare to me because I don't like using my phone, really.
Well, also the other thing is we're so distributed, like my phone number probably would be of no use to you anyway. So
I do have Slack and I have GitHub and Twitter and stuff, but I do have my out of office. So after a certain time, I won't get notifications for anything. And we also have a rule here at home that after we say we're off work, whatever that hour is, like we're not allowed to go onto work related apps. So I can go to TikTok, for example, or go to WhatsApp or like message friends and family. But most of the time, I just put my phone down, and then the first thing that I do in the morning is getting up and take my dog out for a walk. So I don't even check my notifications until I have done my training, I've had some breakfast, and then I'm ready to start my day. So that has helped a lot because I used to be like super bad with Slack, like be on Slack all the time. On Twitter is like borderline social media, also an outlet that I use for me to keep up to date with tech in general. So it's like borderline work, and GitHub is definitely work. So that's why we had to put that rule at home that we're not allowed to do that when we're off work. And it works.
Yeah, it's definitely hard, but for me, it's I have Slack on my phone and I have GitHub and all the applications, just in case. So, like for instance, yesterday we had a power off, like a shutdown, and I needed to send a couple of messages via Slack, so it works. But I don't know why, but it is also really slow for me and my cell phone data. I don't know if that's because the app is too heavy or something like that. So it is funny because I cannot send, like, I can write the messages but they will not be sent like really quick, which is funny because I cannot like really use it, but I have it on my phone. So yeah. So now, well, the last set of questions that we want to explore a little bit is, how does all, like, like all the things that you do outside of your work makes you better at your current work? So, like, questions like, how are you prioritizing yourself, like in your job? Also, how do you improve and implement your changes to be better? And if you feel that like all the other stuff that you're doing, your hobbies, your family, and all your routine, it's also helping you to get better results at work. So I don't know who wants to jump in.
I'll start.
Go ahead, Pam.
I was just going to say that, especially in the last few months, so, I obviously have a lot on my plate with the kids outside of work, and I don't even work full time because I want to spend time with them and not have them, just have more time with them while they're growing up. But it's also a lot, and it can be very draining. And so I've realized like I have to spend time doing some things that are just for me and just stuff that I enjoy. So therefore, doing the triathlon training and picking up piano and these other things that just are stuff that I want to do just for me. And I find that to be filling, that it feels like I can give more in all other areas. Otherwise, it's just you're drained, you get bitter, or I do, and it feels like everything is just so hard. But taking these little, even just little bits of time to do other stuff has made a big difference. So I think that has impacted like all areas of my life, and hopefully will continue to do so. So
And I really think that it really helps the distributed work because we don't have like really a 9 to 5 office hour. So like like I feel that I can have either like a long lunch break if I'm not feeling well from the morning or things like that, or I can even have a nap in the afternoon if I need that, because we don't have that like really tight schedule to be working on. So
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's one of the really nice things that is that there is the flexibility to fit in some of these things more easily than if you had a strict schedule for work.
yeah, so that happens a lot on my ballet setting. When I started doing ballet when I was 17, and I had to like by now I already had to change like 2 times of my whole group, because life happens, and all we all grew up, and we all got jobs, and then the majority of their jobs are really harsh on these schedules, so they are not able to come back to classes because it's impossible for them.
Mm. So
Yeah,
you started at 17,
yeah, I started really late.
but
Yeah.
so your pictures are so impressive. Like, I mean, this also gives me hope for my piano too.
I was
I mean,
I
not
was
that I'm
thinking the same
17,
thing.
not that I'm 17. I'm not. I'm way past 17, but I just assumed that you had been doing this since you were 6 or something. But
No,
good
no,
for you. That's so cool. I mean, it was cool either way. But
yeah, yeah. So yeah, and that's also why I put my like hobbies hours on my calendar. That's like a normal topic that people ask me. Because I before I had a lot of people that booked sometimes those schedules, and then it was really cumbersome to go and say like, hey, I have a class, I cannot move that, can we move our meeting? So at the end it was easier for me just to put everything public, and yeah, and I really like that about the company as well, that we all respect a lot whatever is on people's schedule, and that you don't have to be like completely like transparent in a way with what you put there. Like you can just put there like busy, and then people will not book those hours because you're like coming up front that you cannot on do anything at those hours. So Tanya, now that we were talking about calendars, I think yours is the most crazy one.
My calendar is the worst. It gives me nightmares. But I think the greatest thing about distributed working, and you all have mentioned it, is that it allows you to, well, if you don't have a crazy, crazy calendar most of the time, it allows you to sort your work around your life, so you can, like, for a lot of you all, well, a lot of people at Kwansai know that I like naps, and when I am struggling with brain fog or I'm super super tired, I'll just take an extended break and then have naps and then come back and work until later. And I think that is a flexibility that in other places you wouldn't have, or even just to be able to make time to go to an appointment, to the doctor or to the dentist, or I don't know, just like your life becomes your priority rather than having to accommodate your life around your work. And I think that is like, now that I've tried distributed working and it has been the way I've been working for a while, I would really really struggle to go back to a job where I have to be 9 to 5 and expected to be there like those core hours. And if you take away my naps, like, I would really struggle, really really struggle.
So Gabriel, how was your like you entered the company fairly like a really short time. How was like adjusting to one side?
Um, oh, what was that? So I was a little worried when I started because I hadn't actually ever worked full time remotely before. But it's actually been pretty easy to get into it. I I think Quansight, my observation, I don't know for a fact, but my observation is that because Quansight was distributed like before COVID, it seems like there were things that this company's had in place that kind of helps, like the thing that we're doing right now, for example. Like because I think like I'm, what would you call it, like an extrovert, introvert? Like I do, like being around other people does drain me, but like I do like being around other people. And if I'm like too much alone all the time, then it starts to make me feel sad. I think, like, yeah, I don't know. I think the answer to your question is that it's actually been smoother than I was expecting. And also I would say, like, I have a similar thing for you that you do for work-life balance, which is like putting that gym time every day at the same time, or that ballet time or whatever. And I think for me too, I'm lucky that like we're not in lockdown, because right now I can go to the gym. And I think like having like other people at the same class who kind of expect to see my face there means that I'm not going to be like, oh, but I'm just trying to fix this checkbox on this app. And then, miss my gym time. It's like, I know like they're like expecting me. So I think that external like accountability really helps me to, draw those boundaries.
That's great. Yeah. So, Greg, I'm going to ask you Christian's chat question. So he's asking us if we use Pomodoro. So have you ever tried to use some like time management thing like Pomodoro or something else, Greg? Or you just go with.
No, not really. I don't try to plan things too rigidly. I kind of, I do a similar thing where, I don't try to stick to the exact same schedule every day. May start an hour or two earlier or later, depending on the day. Might occasionally take, a few hours in the middle of the day, come back a few hours later in the evening, or even work on things in the weekend a little bit if I didn't work on it as much one day. So I think that flexibility has been nice. But no, in terms of like time management, I don't really use anything other than, after the fact, recording the times in the standard timesheet tool we use at the company.
Now you're bringing up a really interesting point, Greg, and is that like not all of us in Quansight are taking like Monday to Friday schedule for work. Like there's some people that like to work on the weekends and they rather rest on the middle of the week or something like that. So do you like you just go with the flow each week, or do you have like a set of days you prefer to
Yeah, I
work
mean,
to rest?
sometimes, some weekends I don't do anything. Other weekends I didn't get as much done during the week, so I'll end up working. I do try to at least spend one day not working on the weeks. I don't want to be working every day, so you kind of get burned out after a while, I think. But yeah, it's been pretty flexible, so that's been a bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, a lot of people, once COVID started, they asked me, a lot of like of my friends, they were like, how are you doing this stuff every day? Because there's a lot of people that were like all the restrictions and the work from home thing was really hard for them. So did you get also like a lot of people asking you that, or was more like or like people were like, yeah, like in my circle, some of the people that are near me, they don't understand how I work from home. Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't get that too much. My wife had started working remotely in the year prior to when I did. So initially I was going into the office. I worked at a hospital previous to this in like a medical imaging research position. So yeah, at that time, there were some aspects even after COVID where I would go into the office because you need to physically run something at like an MRI scanner, which you can't do at home, obviously.
No.
You have a couple $1 million laying around to buy an MRI scanner. But, yeah, no, I think, well, recently at least, so many people have been working remotely in terms of, across pretty much everybody that I interact with.
Great. So I just want everyone to just like before, like we're just 5 minutes near to the end, so I want just to have like a tip or something that helps you in your day to day that you can tell everyone else that you do. So like in my case is just having that like that clear boundary of what's the hour I will not continue working. That has helped me a lot to just have the boundary of like I'm not working until 11 p.m. because I can do that if I'm not careful with my times. So I like to draw a boundary, even if that means putting like a set of alarms just to get up and close the computer. So yeah, Gabriel, what's your tip for everyone?
I mean, I'm just going to repeat the same thing. Like the physical exercise, it's like like if you could put the benefits of physical exercise into a pill, it would be a miracle pill. And so like having that regular on my calendar, going to do it, and there are people expecting me, I think that's the biggest tip I could offer anyone.
That's great. Thank you, Gabriel. Pam, how about you?
I don't know if I have anything really new to add, except I'm another +1 for physical exercise. I think just it helps so much with stress and anxiety. And I had a period where I was, after my twins were born, where I did not stay active. And so then whenever I finally said, you know what, I'm tired of this, I'm getting back into it, it was hard, but it just made such a difference. And now I'm like over that hump. I mean, but you know how it is in the beginning when you haven't been exercising and it's just really hard. Once you get past it and get in, it's part of your routine, you really start feeling the benefits. And so, yeah, I think if you can move, do something like that, just helps a lot with the stress and overall mood and everything. So
Great. Thank you, Pam. Tanya, what's your what's your tip?
Uh, um, I don't know. I didn't have a tip. Everyone says physical activity, but I think, um, although I not always work the same hours, I would say, or have like a hard stop sometimes. Just having like little pieces of like routine or I don't know rituals for you to get yourself into the working like mindset and out of that helps a lot. For example, I very rarely work outside my office. Sometimes I do take calls elsewhere, but this is my place. I never work from my couch or from my bedroom because I like to keep those spaces clean from work. I would call it. So those are my relaxation spaces. Then just even just setting like those rituals, or for me after I finish work, I play with my dog Tuggy, and I know that that is my end of day, like my end of work routine. So that immediately shifts my focus onto, oh well, now you can chill and not work.
That's great. Thank you, Tanya. And Greg, what's your tip?
Yeah, it's along the same lines. I would say take some time in midday. If you've been sitting for 4 hours concentrating on something hard, you can start to get a little tired. You may lose some focus if you take a little time for yourself, whether it's exercising, this extended lunch, or taking a walk, whatever. Get back into a kind of more refreshed state of mind to continue again afterwards.
Go ahead, Gabriel.
I just had a follow up to your tip, Tanya, which was question, which so like, does that mean you have like a separate laptop for like entertainment and watching movies, or I don't know. I'm curious, like, because for me it's like entertainment and work kind of blend on the same device. So I don't know if I could have a ritual that separates them so cleanly.
This is gonna be so. I only have one laptop, and then anything else that is entertainment is either like if I want to watch a movie, I'll do it on the TV or on my iPad. But I only have one laptop, so it's very easy for me to just like set that boundary.
So you just do work stuff on the laptop, not fun stuff. Interesting.
Well, It depends. If I'm programming my keyboards, that is fun stuff.
Yeah, who said work can't be fun stuff? I misspoke there.
Well,
Oh,
thank
Stefan,
you. Go ahead.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
I realized we didn't go around saying where we all are in the world. I don't know if that was deliberate because this is public, or if you wanted us to just kind of quickly, just because we're all so in different places.
If you want, let's start.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
start, Gabriel.
Sure. I'm on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. It's about an hour east of New Orleans in the U.S. South.
Pam, where are you located at?
I'm in Austin, Texas, and have been here for a very long time. And I'm assuming that most of you know where that is.
Tanya, where are you?
I am in Manchester in the United Kingdom.
From there,
Yeah, I am.
Live streaming is on.
so you don't. I don't know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even say this, but you have no accent. Like I expected, a lot of the people would have like maybe a more distinct accent, but
I know.
you don't
I
have that.
regret it now. I think I deliberately
Tried not to speak like
yeah, as a
Southern.
younger kid. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I think we're back. So, Tanya, can you repeat us where are you located at?
Yeah, so I am in Manchester in the United Kingdom. That's the northwest of England.
Great. And Greg.
I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, so it's down in the southwest corner of the state, adjacent to Indiana and Kentucky. So right on the Ohio River. So across the bridge and you'll be in Kentucky.
That's great. And I'm located in Bogota, Colombia, in Latin America. So thank you all for being here today. I hope you really enjoyed this episode and everything. And I just wanted to let you go with this phrase I heard recently. That's like work and life balance is not an achievement, because currently I feel like a lot of posts and a lot of mindset is said that once you reach that work and life balance, then you'll have it like a trophy or something like that. But it is really hard to have it as an achievement rather than like a process that you will have. So thank you, and hope to see you in one of our next episodes.
All right, thanks.